that refers to something that is out of its proper or chronological order, or that belongs to a different time period than the one in which it exists. It can be used to describe an object, event, or person that is placed or described in a time period other than the one it actually belongs to.
कालक्रम समय के संदर्भ में गलत जगह या युग में होना.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Maverick, anachronism, culpability, apogee. Now, the correct answer is anachronism.
Anachronism as noun.
कालक्रम समय के संदर्भ में गलत जगह या युग में होना.
That refers to something that is out of its proper or chronological order, or that belongs to a different time period than the one in which it exists. It can be used to describe an object, event, or person that is placed or described in a time period other than the one it actually belongs to.
Synonyms of
Anachronism.
Misstate, incongruity, misstating, mistiming, postdate.
Antonyms of
Anachronism.
Sequence, chronological order, succession, chain.
Here is the word family of anachronism. As a noun, anachronism. As an adjective, anachronistic. As an adverb, anachronistically.
The medieval castle stood out as an anachronism among the modern skyscrapers of the city. The outdated technology in the museum exhibit was considered an anachronism by many visitors. The use of a typewriter in a modern office is an anachronism. The costume designer made an anachronism by dressing a character in clothing from the wrong time period. The use of a horse-drawn carriage in a busy city street was seen as an anachronism.
Here are some useful collocations of
Anachronism.
Anachronism in clothing. Definition: the use of clothing styles or accessories that do not belong to the time period in which they are being depicted. Examples: the historical film had an anachronism in clothing, as one of the characters was seen wearing a modern wristwatch. Anachronism in language. Definition: the use of words or phrases that are not appropriate for the time period being portrayed. Examples: the play set in ancient Greece had an anachronism in language, as the characters used modern slang terms. Anachronism in technology. Definition: the presence of technology or devices that did not exist during the time period being depicted. Examples: the historical novel included an anachronism in technology, as one of the characters was shown using a smartphone. Anachronism in music. Definition: the use of musical styles or compositions that are not historically accurate for the time period being portrayed. Examples: the period drama had an anachronism in music, as it featured a modern pop song in a scene set in the 18th century. Anachronism in architecture. Definition: the presence of architectural styles or structures that do not correspond to the time period being depicted. Examples: the historical film had an anachronism in architecture, as it featured a modern skyscraper in a scene set in the Middle Ages.
Next question. Refers to a person who practices self-discipline, self-denial, and self-control, typically for spiritual or moral improvement.
तपस्वी, संज्ञा, कठोर जीवन जीने वाला साधु.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Ascetic, vicissitude, incense, hamstring. Now, the correct answer is ascetic.
Ascetic as noun.
तपस्वी, संज्ञा, कठोर जीवन जीने वाला साधु.
refers to a person who practices self-discipline, self-denial, and self-control, typically for spiritual or moral improvement.
Synonyms of
Ascetic,
Austere, severe, Spartan, abstemious, abstinent.
antonyms of
ascetic,
Hedonistic, gluttonous, ample, luxurious, lavish.
Here is the word family of ascetic, as a noun asceticism, as a adjective ascetic, as a adverb ascetically.
The ascetic spent years living in isolation in the mountains, seeking enlightenment. The ascetic's teachings emphasize the value of simplicity and renunciation of material pleasures. The ascetic's self-discipline and devotion to his spiritual practice inspired many followers. The ascetic's extreme fasting and self-mortification were viewed by some as a form of religious fanaticism. The religious order was known for its ascetics, who took vows of poverty and self-denial.
Here are some useful collocations of
Ascetic,
Ascetic self. Definition: the inner aspect or essence of a person that aligns with ascetic principles, values, or qualities. Examples: the ascetic self seeks detachment from material desires, cultivating inner peace and transcending worldly attachments. Ascetic lifestyle. Definition: a way of life characterized by simplicity, self-discipline, and renunciation of material possessions and worldly pleasures. Examples: the monk embraced an ascetic lifestyle, living in solitude and practicing meditation. Ascetic practices. Definition: rituals, exercises, or routines performed as part of an ascetic lifestyle or spiritual path. Examples: the ascetic practices include fasting, meditation, and self-denial as a means of spiritual purification. Ascetic ideals. Definition: beliefs or principles that emphasize self-discipline, detachment, and spiritual growth over material desires and worldly pursuits. Examples: the ascetic ideals emphasize the pursuit of inner peace and enlightenment rather than material success. Ascetic discipline. Definition: the rigorous adherence to rules, principles, or codes of conduct associated with an ascetic lifestyle. Examples: the ascetic discipline requires strict obedience to a set of spiritual practices and moral guidelines.
Next question. Awkward or unskilled in social situations, lacking in social grace or sophistication.
भद्दापन, असभ्य या अनाड़ी व्यवहार.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Enmity, inequity, gauche, derivative. Now the correct answer is gauche.
Gauche as noun.
भद्दापन, असभ्य या अनाड़ी व्यवहार.
Awkward or unskilled in social situations, lacking in social grace or sophistication.
Synonym of
Gauche,
Awkward, maladroit, clumsy, inept, uncouth.
Antonym of
gauche,
Elegant, graceful, sophisticated, suave, tactful.
Here is the word family of gauche, as a noun gaucheness, as a adjective gauche, as a adverb gauchely.
The writer's portrayal of the character's gauche personality was spot on. She felt gauche and out of place at the fancy restaurant. His gauche manners made him stand out among the refined guests. The politician's gauche comments offended many people. The new intern's gauche behavior at the office party was quite embarrassing.
Common collocation of
Gauche.
Gauche attempt. Definition: an awkward or unsuccessful attempt. Examples: despite his gauche attempt at playing the guitar, he continued to practice to improve. Gauche behavior. Definition: awkward or socially inept behavior. Examples: his gauche behavior at the party made him feel out of place. Gauche movement. Definition: clumsy or uncoordinated movement. Examples: the dancer's gauche movement during the performance was noticeable to the audience. Gauche remark. Definition: an insensitive or tactless remark. Examples: she regretted her gauche remark about his appearance as soon as she said it. Gauche gesture. Definition: a socially awkward or inappropriate gesture. Examples: his gauche gesture of hugging a stranger made everyone uncomfortable.
Next question. A banner or emblem carried or displayed in a parade, rally, or other event. A signal or symbol used to communicate information or indicate a particular condition.
झंडा किसी देश या संगठन का प्रतीक.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Quandary. Derivative. Flag. Calumny. Now the correct answer is flag.
Flag as noun.
झंडा किसी देश या संगठन का प्रतीक.
A banner or emblem carried or displayed in a parade, rally, or other event. A signal or symbol used to communicate information or indicate a particular condition.
synonym of
Flag.
Signal, banner. Languish, weaken, droop.
antonym of
Flag.
Increase, rise, strengthen, develop, do well.
Here is the word family of flag, as a noun flag, as a verb flag, as an adjective flagging.
The ship signaled distress by flying a red flag from its mast. The flag of the United States is red, white, and blue, with 50 stars and 13 stripes. The referee threw a flag on the play, indicating a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. The hikers used a flag to mark their trail and make sure they didn't get lost. The marathon runners rounded the final turn and crossed the finish line under a waving flag.
common collocation of
Flag.
Flag a problem. Definition: to bring attention to a problem or issue, often for further investigation or resolution. Examples: the employee flagged a potential safety hazard in the workplace. Flag a mistake. Definition: to mark or highlight a mistake or error for correction. Examples: the teacher flagged the student's incorrect answer and explained the correct solution. Flag a document. Definition: to mark or label a document for a specific purpose, such as for review or prioritization. Examples: the manager flagged the important sections in the report for further discussion. Flag a suspicious activity. Definition: to identify or indicate a suspicious activity or behavior, often for security or law enforcement purposes. Examples: the security officer flagged the person's suspicious behavior and monitored their movements. Flag a website. Definition: to mark or designate a website for further attention or action. such as reporting inappropriate content. Examples: the user flagged the offensive content on the website for review by the administrators.
Next question. A solution or remedy that is believed to cure all problems or diseases. A universal cure for all ills or difficulties.
सर्व रोग नाशक, हर समस्या का हल समझा जाने वाला उपाय.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Panacea, antipathy, cataclysm, tact. Now the correct answer is panacea.
Panacea as noun.
सर्व रोग नाशक, हर समस्या का हल समझा जाने वाला उपाय.
A solution or remedy that is believed to cure all problems or diseases. A universal cure for all ills or difficulties.
Synonym of.
Panacea.
Cure, cure-all, remedy, nostrum, elixir.
Antonym of.
Panacea.
Toxin, poison, illness, venom, virus.
Here is the word family of panacea. As a noun, panacea.
The idea of universal basic income is often presented as a panacea for economic inequality. The new drug was touted as a panacea for all types of cancer. Many people see education as the panacea for poverty and inequality. The company's latest product was marketed as a panacea for aging skin. The coach believed that teamwork was the panacea for the team's struggles.
Common collocation of.
Panacea.
Panacea for a disease. Definition: a remedy or solution that is believed to cure all diseases or ailments. Examples: in ancient times, some plants were considered a panacea for various illnesses. Panacea for emotional distress. Definition: a method or practice believed to alleviate all forms of emotional suffering or distress. Examples: the therapist claimed that mindfulness meditation could be a panacea for emotional well-being. Panacea for economic troubles. Definition: an economic policy or measure believed to solve all economic challenges or difficulties. Examples: the government proposed tax cuts as a panacea for boosting economic growth and job creation. Panacea for relationship issues. Definition: a technique or advice believed to resolve all relationship problems or conflicts. Examples: some individuals see communication as the panacea for improving relationships and resolving conflicts. Panacea for environmental concerns. Definition: an approach or technology believed to address all environmental issues or ecological problems. Examples: renewable energy is often presented as a panacea for reducing carbon emissions and combating climate change.
Next question. Feeling delight or satisfaction at the suffering or downfall of others. Pleasure or joy derived from the misfortune, failure, or humiliation of others, often accompanied by a sense of superiority or satisfaction.
दूसरे के दुख में खुशी, दूसरों की परेशानी देखकर प्रसन्न होना.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Schadenfreude, Picayune, Pyrrhic, apprehension. Now the correct answer is Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude as noun.
दूसरे के दुख में खुशी, दूसरों की परेशानी देखकर प्रसन्न होना.
Feeling delight or satisfaction at the suffering or downfall of others. Pleasure or joy derived from the misfortune, failure, or humiliation of others, often accompanied by a sense of superiority or satisfaction.
Synonym of
Schadenfreude.
Malicious joy, gloating, satisfaction, smugness, delight.
Antonym of
Schadenfreude.
Empathy, compassion, sympathy, kindness, benevolence.
Here is the word family of Schadenfreude. As a noun, Schadenfreude.
Her laughter seemed to be fueled by Schadenfreude after her friend's mistake. There was a hint of Schadenfreude in his voice when discussing his colleague's misfortune. The feeling of Schadenfreude emerged when he observed his rival's failure. The gossip magazine thrived on stories that elicited Schadenfreude in its readers. He couldn't help but feel a tinge of Schadenfreude upon seeing his ex's relationship woes.
collocation of
Schadenfreude.
Malicious Schadenfreude. Definition: deriving pleasure from someone else's misfortune maliciously. Examples: his malicious Schadenfreude was evident when he laughed at his colleague's mistake. Secretive Schadenfreude. Definition: concealing pleasure derived from another's misfortune. Examples: she couldn't hide her secretive Schadenfreude when her rival failed. Open Schadenfreude. Definition: expressing pleasure openly at someone's misfortune. Examples: his open Schadenfreude was obvious when his neighbor's project failed. Cruel Schadenfreude. Definition: deriving pleasure from someone's suffering in a cruel manner. Examples: her cruel Schadenfreude became evident when she mocked her friend's failure. Sadistic Schadenfreude. Definition: taking pleasure in another's pain or suffering. Examples: his sadistic Schadenfreude surfaced when he reveled in others' failures.
Next question. The state or condition of being in a position of power or dominance. The state or condition of having control or influence over others.
प्रभुत्व, बढ़त, किसी पर नियंत्रण या ऊंचा स्थान.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Amalgam. Erratic. Ascendancy. Anomaly. Now the correct answer is ascendancy.
Ascendancy as noun.
प्रभुत्व, बढ़त, किसी पर नियंत्रण या ऊंचा स्थान.
The state or condition of being in a position of power or dominance. The state or condition of having control or influence over others.
Synonyms of
Ascendancy.
Power, control, authority, supremacy, sway.
Antonyms of
Ascendancy.
Weakness, disadvantage, inferiority, subordination, backseat.
Here is the word family of ascendancy. As a noun, ascendancy. As a verb, ascend. As an adjective, ascendant.
During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union both sought to gain ascendancy in the world. The recent election resulted in the opposition party gaining ascendancy in parliament. The company's market share has been in ascendancy for the past year due to its innovative products. The coach's strategies and leadership led to the team's ascendancy in the league standings. The king's ascendancy to the throne was accompanied by much celebration and fanfare.
Here are some useful collocations of
Ascendancy.
Political ascendancy. Definition: dominance or control over political power or influence. Examples: the ruling party maintained its ascendancy in the country for several years. Economic ascendancy. Definition: superiority or dominance in economic strength or influence. Examples: the emerging market achieved ascendancy, becoming a major player in the global economy. Intellectual ascendancy. Definition: superiority or dominance in intellectual pursuits or knowledge. Examples: the university maintained its intellectual ascendancy as a leading center for research and innovation. Cultural ascendancy. Definition: dominance or influence in shaping cultural trends, values, or norms. Examples: the city's vibrant art scene contributed to its cultural ascendancy in the region. Military ascendancy. Definition: superiority or dominance in military strength or capability. Examples: the nation's military enjoyed ascendancy over its neighboring countries, ensuring its security.
Next question. A person who fraudulently claims to have skills or knowledge in a particular field uses deception or trickery to achieve their ends.
ढोंगी, ज्ञान या कौशल का झूठा दावा करने वाला.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Mendacity, presentiment, charlatan, apothegm. Now, the correct answer is charlatan.
Charlatan as noun.
ढोंगी, ज्ञान या कौशल का झूठा दावा करने वाला.
A person who fraudulently claims to have skills or knowledge in a particular field uses deception or trickery to achieve their ends.
Synonyms of
Charlatan,
Fraud, impostor, quack, sham, mountebank, trickster.
antonyms of
charlatan,
Expert, professional, genuine practitioner, authentic, honest individual, authority.
Here is the word family of charlatan. As a noun, charlatanism.
the weight loss guru was found to be a charlatan, selling fake products and making false claims about their effectiveness. The psychic was revealed to be a charlatan, using cold reading and other tricks to make people believe in their supposed supernatural abilities. The fake doctor was exposed as a charlatan, having never received any medical training but still practicing medicine and prescribing drugs. The financial advisor was exposed as a charlatan, using fraudulent investment schemes to deceive clients and pocket their money. The self-proclaimed healer turned out to be a charlatan, taking advantage of people's vulnerabilities for personal gain.
Here are some useful collocations of
Charlatan,
Medical charlatan. Definition: a person who pretends to have medical knowledge or skills, but lacks legitimate qualifications. Examples: the snake oil salesman was exposed as a medical charlatan. Charlatan psychic. Definition: someone who claims to have supernatural or psychic abilities, but uses trickery or deception. Examples: the psychic was revealed to be a charlatan using cold reading techniques. Charlatan artist. Definition: an artist who produces counterfeit or fraudulent artworks. Examples: the art dealer discovered that the painting was the work of a charlatan artist. Charlatan guru. Definition: a self-proclaimed spiritual leader who misleads followers with false teachings or promises. Examples: the cult leader was exposed as a charlatan guru manipulating his followers. Charlatan historian. Definition: a person who fabricates or distorts historical information for personal gain. Examples: the author's book was criticized for being written by a charlatan historian.
Next question. Boldness or daring, especially with confident or arrogant disregard for personal safety, conventional thought, or other restrictions.
दुस्साहस, हद से ज्यादा हिम्मत या धृष्टता.
Let us now turn our attention to the options. Which of these words best fulfills the criteria of the presented definition? Variance, iconoclast, audacity, endemic. Now the correct answer is audacity.
Audacity as noun.
दुस्साहस, हद से ज्यादा हिम्मत या धृष्टता.
Boldness or daring, especially with confident or arrogant disregard for personal safety, conventional thought, or other restrictions.
Synonyms of
Audacity,
Boldness, nerve, courage, daring, impudence.
antonyms of
audacity,
Timidity, cowardice, fear, gentility, bashfulness.
Here is the word family of audacity. As a noun audacity, as an adjective audacious, as an adverb audaciously.
The comedian's jokes were criticized for their audacity and offensiveness, but also praised for their sharp wit and social commentary. The explorer's audacity in venturing into the unknown regions of the world inspired many people to pursue their dreams and passions. The young activist showed great audacity in challenging the authority of the government and demanding justice for the oppressed. The lawyer's audacity in cross-examining the witness and exposing their lies led to a dramatic turn in the trial and the eventual acquittal of the defendant. The spy's audacity in infiltrating the enemy's headquarters and stealing valuable intelligence saved countless lives and helped turn the tide of the war.
Here are some useful collocations of
Audacity.
Audacity to speak up. Definition: the boldness or courage to express one's opinions or ideas openly. Examples: she had the audacity to speak up against injustice, even when it was unpopular. Audacity to challenge. Definition: the courage or daring to question or challenge established norms or authority. Examples: the young activist had the audacity to challenge powerful institutions and demand change. Audacity to dream. Definition: the boldness or audacity to dream big and set ambitious goals. Examples: despite the obstacles, she had the audacity to dream of becoming an astronaut. Audacity to innovate. Definition: the willingness to take risks and think outside the box to create new and groundbreaking ideas. Examples: the company had the audacity to innovate and disrupt the market with their revolutionary product. Audacity to succeed. Definition: the confidence and boldness to pursue success and overcome challenges. Examples: despite the setbacks, he had the audacity to believe in his abilities and strive for success.
Next question. A person who indulges in sensual pleasures and luxuries. A person who is devoted to luxury and pleasure.
ऐशप्रिय व्यक्ति, आराम और विलासिता पसंद करने वाला.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Rash, euphoria, precedent, Sybarite. Now the correct answer is Sybarite.
Sybarite as noun.
ऐशप्रिय व्यक्ति, आराम और विलासिता पसंद करने वाला.
A person who indulges in sensual pleasures and luxuries. A person who is devoted to luxury and pleasure.
Synonym of
Sybarite.
Hedonist, voluptuary, sensualist, Epicurean, immoralist.
Antonym of
Sybarite.
Prude, ascetic, Puritan.
Here is the word family of Sybarite, as a noun Sybaritism, as an adjective Sybaritic.
The billionaire was a Sybarite who enjoyed only the finest things in life. After living in a tent for months, the traveler felt like a Sybarite when he checked into the luxurious hotel. The restaurant catered to Sybarites with its expensive menu and elegant decor. The young actress was accused of being a Sybarite when she demanded a private trailer on set. The writer's depiction of the Sybarites in ancient Rome painted them as decadent and debauched.
collocation of
Sybarite.
Sybarite lifestyle. Definition: a luxurious and indulgent way of living. Examples: he embraced a Sybarite lifestyle, surrounded by opulence and extravagance. Sybarite tastes. Definition: referring to refined and extravagant preferences in food, fashion, or entertainment. Examples: the restaurant catered to those with Sybarite tastes, offering exquisite dishes and fine wines. Sybarite pleasures. Definition: luxurious and sensual experiences or activities. Examples: the resort provided a range of Sybarite pleasures, including spa treatments and gourmet dining. Sybarite retreat. Definition: a luxurious and exclusive getaway or vacation spot. Examples: the private island served as a Sybarite retreat for the world's elite, offering unparalleled luxury and privacy. Sybarite indulgence. Definition: excessive and indulgent behavior or consumption. Examples: her shopping sprees and extravagant parties were a reflection of her Sybarite indulgence.
Next question. A person traveling by foot rather than by car, bicycle, or other mode of transportation. A person who is walking, especially on a sidewalk or in a public place.
पैदल यात्री, पैदल चलने वाला व्यक्ति.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Tumult, spendthrift, eclectic, pedestrian. Now the correct answer is pedestrian.
Pedestrian as noun.
पैदल यात्री, पैदल चलने वाला व्यक्ति.
A person traveling by foot rather than by car, bicycle, or other mode of transportation. A person who is walking, especially on a sidewalk or in a public place.
Synonym of
Pedestrian.
Walker, prosaic, commonplace, ordinary, unimaginative.
Antonym of
Pedestrian.
Interesting, extraordinary, entertaining, alluring, captivating.
Here is the word family of pedestrian, as a noun pedestrian, as an adjective pedestrian.
The driver failed to yield to the pedestrians in the crosswalk. The new bike lanes were designed to separate pedestrians from cyclists. The pedestrian was hit by a car while crossing the street. The city installed new crosswalks to make it safer for pedestrians to cross the road. The busy street was filled with pedestrians during rush hour.
Common collocation of
pedestrian.
Pedestrian-friendly. Definition: describing an environment or design that prioritizes the safety and convenience of pedestrians. Examples: the newly redesigned neighborhood features wider sidewalks and bike lanes, making it more pedestrian-friendly. Pedestrian crossing. Definition: designated area on a road where pedestrians can safely cross. Examples: the children waited at the pedestrian crossing until the traffic lights turned green. Pedestrian zone. Definition: area of a city or town designated primarily for pedestrian use. Examples: the pedestrian zone in the city center is car-free, making it pleasant for walking and shopping. Pedestrian right-of-way. Definition: the legal priority given to pedestrians at crosswalks and intersections. Examples: the driver yielded to the pedestrian as they had the right-of-way at the marked crosswalk. Pedestrian flow. Definition: the movement and circulation of pedestrians in a given area or space. Examples: the event organizers carefully planned the layout to ensure a smooth pedestrian flow between attractions.
Next question. A close friend or confidant. A close personal relationship or connection.
प्रियजन, जिसके साथ गहरा संबंध हो.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Recrimination. Canard. Resolve. Intimate. Now the correct answer is intimate.
Intimate as noun.
प्रियजन, जिसके साथ गहरा संबंध हो.
A close friend or confidant. A close personal relationship or connection.
synonym of
Intimate.
Suggest, close, hint, imply, indicate.
antonym of
Intimate.
Distant, formal, public, unfriendly, cool.
Here is the word family of intimate, as a noun intimacy, as a verb intimate, as an adjective intimate, as an adverb intimately.
He was known to be a loyal intimate of the king and had his ear on many matters of state. The celebrity's intimates often spoke to the press about her personal life. As a writer, he drew on his experiences with his intimates to create realistic and emotionally resonant characters. After the breakup, she found it hard to trust anyone who had been an intimate of her ex-boyfriend. She was uncomfortable sharing her deepest secrets with even her closest intimates.
common collocation of
Intimate.
Intimate relationship. Definition: a close, personal, and romantic partnership between two people. Examples: they've been in an intimate relationship for over 5 years. Intimate setting. Definition: a cozy and comfortable environment that promotes a sense of closeness and familiarity. Examples: the restaurant had an intimate setting with dim lighting and soft music, perfect for a romantic dinner. Intimate gathering. Definition: a small and private social gathering or party. Examples: they had an intimate gathering with close friends to celebrate their anniversary. Intimate conversation. Definition: a private and personal discussion between two individuals. Examples: they had an intimate conversation about their hopes and dreams. Intimate apparel. Definition: undergarments or lingerie worn for comfort, support, or allure. Examples: the store sells a wide range of intimate apparel for all body types.
Next question. A continuous flow or movement, especially of a fluid. A state of change, especially rapid or constant change.
परिवर्तनशीलता, लगातार बदलाव की अवस्था.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Decimation, flux, precipient, temperance. Now the correct answer is flux.
Flux as noun.
परिवर्तनशीलता, लगातार बदलाव की अवस्था.
A continuous flow or movement, especially of a fluid. A state of change, especially rapid or constant change.
Synonym of
Flux,
Motion, flow, fuse, flood, stream.
antonym of
flux,
Stability, constancy, steadiness, exodus, outflow.
Here is the word family of flux, as a noun flux.
The flux of information on social media can be overwhelming at times. The flux of traffic on the highway is particularly heavy during rush hour. The economy is in a state of flux, with new regulations and policies being introduced regularly. The composition of the atmosphere is constantly in flux due to various natural and human-made factors. The constant flux of new technology makes it difficult for companies to keep up.
common collocation of
Flux,
Constant flux. Definition: a state of continuous change or movement. Examples: the business world is in a constant flux, with new technologies and market trends emerging regularly. Cultural flux. Definition: a period or situation marked by significant cultural changes and shifts. Examples: the 1960s were a time of cultural flux, characterized by social movements and cultural revolutions. State of flux. Definition: a temporary or transitional state of uncertainty or instability. Examples: the company was in a state of flux following a major restructuring, with employees unsure of their roles. Creative flux. Definition: a state of heightened creativity and inspiration. Examples: the artist thrived in creative flux, producing a series of innovative and captivating artworks. Economic flux. Definition: fluctuations and changes in economic conditions, such as GDP growth, inflation, or unemployment rates. Examples: the country's economy was in a state of flux, with unpredictable market conditions impacting businesses.
Next question. A decision or resolution to take a particular course of action or to deal with a problem in a specific way. A firm determination to do or achieve something.
संकल्प, दृढ़ निर्णय.
Let us now turn our attention to the options. Which of these words best fulfills the criteria of the presented definition? Resolve, decorum, pinnacle, inanity. Now the correct answer is resolve.
Resolve as noun.
संकल्प, दृढ़ निर्णय.
A decision or resolution to take a particular course of action or to deal with a problem in a specific way. A firm determination to do or achieve something.
Synonym of.
Resolve.
Determination, resolution, decide, settle, firmness.
Antonym of.
Resolve.
Question, uncertainty, indecision, hesitation, indecisiveness.
Here is the word family of resolve. As a noun, resolution. As a verb, resolve. As an adjective, resolute. As an adverb, resolutely.
The doctor's resolve to find a cure for the disease kept him working tirelessly. The team's resolve to win the championship was stronger than ever. The company's resolve to reduce its carbon footprint resulted in innovative solutions. The couple's resolve to make their marriage work was admirable. The leader's resolve to bring justice to his people inspired a movement.
Collocation of.
Resolve.
Inner resolve. Definition, personal determination or strength of character to overcome challenges. Examples, she relied on her inner resolve to push through difficult times and achieve her goals. Strong resolve. Definition, a high level of determination or steadfastness in pursuing a goal. Examples, his strong resolve enabled him to overcome obstacles and achieve his dreams. Resolute action. Definition, decisive and determined action taken to accomplish a goal or objective. Examples, the CEO's resolute action led to a successful turnaround for the company. Resolve a conflict. Definition, to find a solution or reach an agreement to end a conflict or dispute. Examples, the mediator helped them resolve their ongoing conflict through open communication. Resolve a problem. Definition, to find a solution or fix to a problem or issue. Examples, the team worked together to resolve the technical problem and get the system back online.
Next question. Painful or laborious effort, hard work or toil, suffering or distress, especially in childbirth.
कठिन श्रम, बहुत कठिन और थकाने वाला काम.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Kvan. Virago. Hodgepodge. Kavai. Now the correct answer is Kavai.
Travail as noun.
कठिन श्रम, बहुत कठिन और थकाने वाला काम.
Painful or laborious effort, hard work or toil, suffering or distress, especially in childbirth.
Synonym of.
Kavai.
Toil, labor, work, labor, drudgery.
Antonym of.
Kavai.
Bask, loaf, acuteness, alleviation, amusement.
Here is the word family of travail. As a noun, travail. As a verb, travail.
The artist's creative process was full of travail and struggle. The construction workers endured many long hours of travail to finish the project on time. The political campaign was marked by the candidate's travail to gain support. The team's travail to come back from a large deficit resulted in a thrilling victory. The woman went through great travail during childbirth.
Collocation of.
Kavai.
Emotional travail. Definition, emotional distress, turmoil, or struggle. Examples, the breakup caused her deep emotional travail as she navigated through feelings of heartbreak and loss. Great travail. Definition, intense or significant effort, struggle, or hardship. Examples, the team overcame great travail to complete the challenging project on time. Physical travail. Definition: physical labor or exertion that involves difficulty, strain, or hardship. Examples: the construction workers endured physical travail under the scorching sun to build the skyscraper. Creative travail. Definition: the challenges, setbacks, and intense effort involved in the creative process. Examples: the writer experienced creative travail while trying to develop a unique plot for their novel. Spiritual travail. Definition: inner struggles, challenges, or growth in one's spiritual journey or quest for meaning. Examples: the spiritual seeker went through a period of spiritual travail, questioning their beliefs and seeking deeper understanding.
Next question. A brief period of time, an instant or a point in time.
क्षण, पल, बहुत छोटा समय.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Solicitude, screed, moment, guffaw. Now the correct answer is moment.
Moment as noun.
क्षण, पल, बहुत छोटा समय.
A brief period of time, an instant or a point in time.
Synonym of.
Moment,
Little while, short time, bit, minute, second.
Antonym of.
moment,
Age, aeon, eternity, smallness, triviality.
Here is the word family of moment, as a noun moment, as a adjective momentary, as a adverb momentarily.
She felt a moment of panic when she realized she had left her phone at home. The musician savored the moment as the audience erupted into applause at the end of her performance. In a rare moment of vulnerability, he opened up to his friends about his struggles with anxiety and depression. The photographer captured the perfect moment as the sun set behind the mountains, casting a warm glow over the landscape. He knew this was a moment that would change his life forever, so he took a deep breath and stepped forward.
Common collocation of
Moment,
Significant moment. Definition: a particular point or event in time that holds significant meaning or importance. Examples: graduation day was a significant moment in her life, marking the culmination of years of hard work. Memorable moment. Definition: an experience or occurrence that is particularly noteworthy or easily remembered. Examples: the surprise party was a memorable moment, filled with laughter, joy, and heartfelt celebrations. Reflective moment. Definition: a period of contemplation or introspection, often triggered by a particular event or realization. Examples: sitting by the lake at sunset, she found a reflective moment to ponder the meaning of life. Pivotal moment. Definition: a critical or decisive point in a situation or event that has a significant impact on its outcome. Examples: the team's ability to score a goal in the final minutes of the match proved to be the pivotal moment that led to their victory. Defining moment. Definition: a specific event or experience that shapes or defines a person's character, values, or trajectory. Examples: Winning the award was a defining moment in her career, providing validation and opening new opportunities.
Next question. Excessive confidence or boldness, especially when accompanied by disregard for the consequences or risks involved. Foolhardiness or recklessness in the face of danger or difficulty.
दुस्साहस, बेहद जोखिम भरा साहस.
Let us now turn our attention to the options. Which of these words best fulfills the criteria of the presented definition? Avarice, panacea, temerity, gambit. Now the correct answer is temerity.
Temerity as noun.
दुस्साहस, बेहद जोखिम भरा साहस.
Excessive confidence or boldness, especially when accompanied by disregard for the consequences or risks involved. Foolhardiness or recklessness in the face of danger or difficulty.
Synonym of
Temerity,
Audacity, nerve, effrontery, cheek, impudence.
Antonym of
temerity,
Caution, care, hesitation, cowardice, modesty.
Here is the word family of temerity. As a noun temerity, as a adjective temerarious, rare.
The comedian's temerity in making jokes about sensitive topics often stirred controversy. The burglar had the temerity to break into the house while the family was still inside. The politician had the temerity to suggest raising taxes in the middle of an economic downer. She had the temerity to ask her strict teacher for an extension on the deadline. He had the temerity to criticize his boss in front of the entire staff.
collocation of
Temerity,
Temerity, to ask. Definition: audacity or boldness to ask a question, especially when it may be seen as inappropriate or impertinent. Examples: he had the temerity to ask his boss for a raise after only a month on the job. Temerity to insult. Definition: daring or nerve to insult someone, often disregarding the consequences or social norms. Examples: the unruly guest had the temerity to insult the host in front of everyone at the party. Temerity to challenge. Definition: boldness or audacity to challenge someone or something, typically in a confrontational or rebellious manner. Examples: the young activist had the temerity to challenge the government's policies on social media. Temerity to criticize. Definition: nerve or audacity to express criticism or disapproval, even when it may be seen as controversial or unwelcome. Examples: she had the temerity to criticize the renowned author's latest book during the book club discussion. Temerity to disobey. Definition: boldness or audacity to defy or disregard orders or instructions. Examples: the student had the temerity to disobey the teacher's direct command in front of the entire class.
Next question. A curved structure, typically made of stone, brick, or steel, that spans an opening and supports the weight above it.
मिहराब, घुमावदार संरचना.
At this point, let us analyze the options provided. Which of these words fits the given definition most appropriately? Celerity, tact, arch, melancholy. Now the correct answer is arch.
Arch as noun.
मिहराब, घुमावदार संरचना.
A curved structure, typically made of stone, brick, or steel, that spans an opening and supports the weight above it.
Synonyms of
Arch,
Archway, vault, span, dome, bridge. A stone arch was built at the entrance.
antonyms of
arch,
Inferior, naive, straighten, minor, straightness.
Here is the word family of arch, structure, as a noun arch, as a adjective arched.
The triumphal arch was built to commemorate a military victory and was decorated with reliefs and sculptures. The archangel was a powerful angelic being who was considered to be a messenger of God. The arch of the bridge spanned the river, providing a pathway for cars and pedestrians. The arch support in the shoes helped to alleviate the pain in his feet and improve his posture. The archer aimed for the bullseye, pulling back the string of the bow and releasing the arrow with precision.
Here are some useful collocations of
Arch,
Arch window. Definition: a window with a curved or arched top, often used in architectural design for aesthetic appeal. The cathedral's stained glass windows had beautiful arch shapes. Arch doorway. Definition: a doorway with an arched top, commonly found in traditional and historical buildings. Examples: the grand entrance of the palace featured an impressive arch doorway. Arch design. Definition: a design or architectural style characterized by the use of arches. Examples: the building showcased a modern arch design, blending contemporary and classical elements. Arch motif. Definition: a decorative motif or pattern inspired by arches, often seen in art, textiles, or interior design. Examples: the wallpaper had an intricate arch motif that added elegance to the room. Arch ceiling. Definition: a ceiling with a curved or vaulted shape, creating a sense of spaciousness and grandeur. Examples: the ballroom had a high arch ceiling adorned with chandeliers.
Next question. An outward appearance or form that is deceptive or misleading. An outward appearance or form that resembles or suggests something.
समानता, बाहरी रूप से मिलता जुलता.
At this point, let us analyze the options provided. Which of these words fits the given definition most appropriately? Tender, dupe, semblance, cupidity. Now the correct answer is semblance.
Semblance as noun.
समानता, बाहरी रूप से मिलता जुलता.
An outward appearance or form that is deceptive or misleading. An outward appearance or form that resembles or suggests something.
Synonym of
Semblance,
Likeness, air, resemblance, form, guise.
Antonym of
semblance,
Change, difference, distinction, real, assortment.
Here is the word family of semblance, as a noun semblance, as a verb resemble.
The actor maintained a semblance of composure even in the face of criticism and controversy. The town had a semblance of normalcy after the storm, with power and communication restored. The political speech was full of semblance, but lacked substance and concrete proposals. The painting captured the semblance of the subject's personality and emotions. The group tried to restore some semblance of order to the chaotic situation.
collocation of
Semblance,
Semblance of order. Definition: appearance or semblance of organization or arrangement. Examples: the chaotic room had a semblance of order after the cleaning. Semblance of authority. Definition: the appearance or aura of having power or influence. Examples: the security guard had a semblance of authority as they patrolled the premises. Semblance of unity. Definition: the appearance or image of harmony or agreement among a group. Examples: the family gathering had a semblance of unity despite the underlying tensions. Semblance of peace. Definition: the appearance or semblance of calmness or tranquility. Examples: the serene garden provided a semblance of peace in the bustling city. Semblance of happiness. Definition: the appearance or semblance of joy or contentment. Examples: she wore a smile to maintain a semblance of happiness, even though she was feeling sad.
Next question. A battle, campaign, or endeavor that results in a victory or success that is more costly or damaging than the gains achieved. A victory or success that is achieved at great cost or sacrifice, such that the benefits gained are outweighed by the losses incurred.
पिर्रिक जीत, भारी नुकसान के साथ मिली जीत.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Pyrrhic, provincial, melee, banality. Now the correct answer is Pyrrhic.
Pyrrhic as noun.
पिर्रिक जीत, भारी नुकसान के साथ मिली जीत.
A battle, campaign, or endeavor that results in a victory or success that is more costly or damaging than the gains achieved. A victory or success that is achieved at great cost or sacrifice, such that the benefits gained are outweighed by the losses incurred.
Synonym of
Pyrrhic,
Pyrrhus, metrical foot, foot, dibrac, ritual dancing.
Antonym of
Pyrrhic,
Decisive, substantial, victorious, successful, advantageous.
Here is the word family of Pyrrhic, as adjective Pyrrhic.
The general's victory was a Pyrrhic one, as the casualties suffered by his army far outweighed any strategic advantage gained. The poet used a Pyrrhic in the third line of the stanza to create a sense of urgency. The political party's Pyrrhic campaign promises were seen as desperate attempts to sway voters, and ultimately led to their defeat. The company's decision to cut corners on safety measures proved to be a Pyrrhic mistake, as the resulting lawsuits bankrupted the company. The athlete's decision to compete while injured resulted in a Pyrrhic victory, as the damage to his body was severe and long-lasting.
collocation of
Pyrrhic,
Pyrrhic victory. Definition: a victory that comes at a high cost or with significant losses. Examples: the army celebrated its Pyrrhic victory as it suffered heavy casualties and destruction. Pyrrhic success. Definition: an achievement that is ultimately unfulfilling or brings more negatives than positives. Examples: his Pyrrhic success in the corporate world left him feeling empty and burned out. Pyrrhic effort. Definition: an excessive or futile effort that does not yield the desired results. Examples: their Pyrrhic effort to win the contract drained their resources and led to disappointment. Pyrrhic battle. Definition: a fiercely contested battle where both sides suffer heavy losses. Examples: the historians described the battle as a Pyrrhic clash, as it left both armies devastated. Pyrrhic retreat. Definition: a strategic retreat that results in significant losses or setbacks. Examples: the general ordered a Pyrrhic retreat to regroup and reassess the situation.
You can find playlists for various languages in the video description. To practice the vocabulary, you are encouraged to explore our various apps. Links to these are also included in the description. If you found something new or interesting, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section and provide your valuable feedback. And please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more educational content.